My dear all students, those who come to benefit a training on international exam called OET, Occupational English Test. I represent from the staff of students, well wishers of EduSkills International.
Options: A. Being overly aggressive in their marketing of ADHD medication. B. Influenced research that led to the reworking of ADHD diagnostic criteria. C. Attempted to change the rules about incentives for doctors who diagnose ADHD. D. Encouraged the APA to rush through changes to the criteria for diagnosing ADHD.
Let's read what is on the screen. Someone allowed.
Until this century, the adult ADHD was a seldom diagnosed disorder. Nowadays, however, it is common in mainstream medicine in the USA. The paradigm shift apparently driven by two factors: revoked diagnostic criteria and marketing by manufacturers of ADHD medication. Some have suggested that this new broader definition of ADHD was fueled to broaden the market for medication. In many instances, the evidence proffered to expand the definition came from studies funded in whole or part by manufacturers, and as the criteria for the condition loosened, reporters emerged about clinicians involved in diagnosing ADHD receiving money from drug makers. So the answer is B. Influence research that led to reworking of ADHD diagnostic criteria.
You like it?
Third line.
Huh?
Third line, rework.
Rework.
Driven by two factors, rework.
Rework diagnostic criteria.
Studies funded.
Studies funded. Research means studies. Research means studies. Funded means influence. Now the whole paragraph speaks about it. Two criteria. One is widened symptoms or broad definitions to include many into that, and that broad definition was found by those buddhas who were funded by manufacturers, drug manufacturers, and this is a common understanding in our medical field, right? As earlier I said, when the doctor got the refrigerator, all the patients have ADHD or diabetes. If he didn't get the refrigerator, the other doctor did not get refrigerator, so all his patients are okay. Yes.
Okay, this is the fifth paragraph, and you can see diagnosis and drugs, drug companies. Again, gist, you have to understand the gist, and until seldom diagnosed disorder. Seldom. You see the scale. Seldom means rarely. So often, always. So you see a scale expression there. Seldom diagnosed disorder. That is the topic sentence of the paragraph that speaks about the paragraph. And nowadays, however, it's common in mainstream medicine in the USA, a paradigm shift apparently driven by two factors. They are saying now these days, the modern trends are driven by two factors. See, driven by two factors: rework and marketing by manufacturers of ADHD medications. Some have suggested that this new broader definition of ADHD was fueled to broaden the market of medication. Fueled to broaden the market of medication. In many instances, the evidence proffered to expand the definitions came from studies funded in whole or part by the manufacturers, The company people, manufacturers are funding the studies, and clinicians involved in diagnosing ADHD were receiving money from the drug makers or companies, drug companies. So corruption. So you can see how they influence. Coming question.
In the fifth paragraph, it is suggested that drug companies have been overly aggressive in their marketing of ADHD medication, influenced research that led to the reworking of ADHD diagnostic criteria, attempted to change the rules about incentives for doctors who diagnose ADHD, encouraged the APA to rush through changes to the criteria for diagnosing ADHD.
See, seldom diagnosed until this century, adult ADHD was a seldom diagnosed disorder. Nowadays, however, now there's a contrast coming. Nowadays, however, it's a common in mainstream medicine in the USA, a paradigm shift apparently driven by two factors. All those things they are saying, then they are saying how it was fueled to broaden the market for medication. In many instances, the evidence proffered to expand the definitions came from studies funded in whole or part by manufacturers. This all things say the manufacturers who are controlling the diagnosis aspect of ADHD. They fueled or they controlled, they funded partially or wholly the research work or studies on ADHD. And as a criteria, they also clinicians involved in diagnosing ADHD receiving money from drug makers. There are also reports that the corruption was happening. Clinicians were getting money and they were diagnosing many people having ADHD so that the market could be fueled or encouraged. So you'll see this comparison here. Okay, influence research that led to the reworking of ADHD. The synonymous language used for influence is fuel and involved in getting money and funded by the manufacturers. All these are influences, giving funds for studies on ADHD and also bribing clinicians and fueling or encouraging the diagnosis of ADHD, all by drug mafia or marketeers is important. So the only this particular thing is true here. First option being overly aggressive in their marketing or ADHD medication. They are not, the whole paragraph doesn't speak about any aggressive marketing strategies of particular drug company. It doesn't speak drug companies, how do they market or their aggressive way of marketing. It doesn't speak anything. It only speaks how they influence the medical professionals. Third option is attempted to change the rules about incentives for doctors who diagnose ADHD. There is nothing about rules about incentives. The whole paragraph doesn't speak anything about rules about incentives for doctors. It speaks only they were bribing clinicians or doctors or health professionals. Fourth one, encourage the APA to rush through changes to the criteria for diagnosis. Nothing is mentioned about they influencing APA. They are speaking about influencing the clinicians or the health professionals. So that also can be eliminated.
All done, right? Yeah. Now, any concerns? How do you feel? Tell me bluntly, what do you feel?
Session we can do it.
Yeah.
In one day,
Ah.
we can find the answers easily. Means we are discussing
different ideas.
The answer is this or that. Four members are discussing. In alone means this is something difficult.
So we need to suggest to OET people, you'll have group for the exams. Okay, I understand. But then your best way is to begin with the group. So what happens? You understand the way. When you are alone, you practice and do the material again and again, but you don't understand. So it's better than doing alone and simply practicing without competency. Understand, practice, then when you go alone, you can do. Not naturally, because you will have the competence. So always it is best to be in a group. And I suggest give up all the egos. And I gave you one example, you remember? How I learned alphabet, paying 95,000, did I say?
No.
You know, I was good at English. I used to translate, even when I was in the seminary, to different languages. I have translated books into Kannada, English, and other languages. And after that, I was acclaimed to be a very good teacher at this one SDM. And I taught PG students, degree students, even PUC students. And I was the one who got the top performance increment. And my English was known to be the best. Before that, I did all my PG and linguistics in English. And I was comfortable. Now I wanted to assess myself to Standard International under Cambridge. 12 were selected from different countries. And as we went there, we had a preliminary assessment. Our business was just to read the alphabets. So silly. There's a software on the wall, big wall. It's like a bike meter. One side native speaker, the other side non-native speaker. So one side it is red, non-native speaker red, in the middle yellow, the other side green, native speaker, means perfect pronunciation. And we had to read out the alphabets. And I don't speak about all the alphabets. And it took me 26 full days to correct my alphabets. And I spent 1,32,000 rupees. At that age, I am not kidding. 1,32,000 rupees. I paid 95,000 rupees to Cambridge in 2002, just to refurbish my alphabet sounds. And I could not read. He was running. The pendulum was between red and yellow. It was twinkling. Then I tried again and again. Then the teacher told me, Saleen, you are not meant for it now. Tomorrow as you come, bring some cucumber pieces in a carrier. Cucumber pieces is cucumber. Cucumber means sauté. And 1/4. I have to read it. If it doesn't reach the green, I have to go there. She is standing there. She will pick one and keep on my mouth. Hold it and go around in the room. And she told me, when you are convinced, you can pronounce that W was, where, which. You can put it in the little bin and read, and you can finish. And after some time, I was tired. I was paining here. I put it in the little bin. I read, no, it is still in between yellow and red. Then again, she had given me, you won't believe me, in front of all, many were struggling with many sounds, entirely different case. And she asked me to, the whole day I did that exercise, all the cucumber pieces were over. She asked me to bring again to God. And it took me next half day, 1.5 days to correct that sound. Because we say, like, the principle is, kiss the W's and bite the V's. Love. Bite the lower lips when you say we, love. Never, ever, give up. And kiss the W's, you say, you have to make it oval shape. You can't say, what's your name? You have to say, what's your name? Which, where, when, how. You have to make round shape lips. Okay, what's your name? So, why I gave this example, don't have any egos. So don't have any ego. Just be open. Make mistakes. The other day, one girl was crying and telling me, Father, I want to come back. I don't want to work in London. Whatever the salary I get in India is enough. Why? Because she was demoted because her communication was so not okay. She wants to come back. So as you go there, you require, even for your OSCE or other your day-to-day life, you require communication. And I have many of my students who are brighter than me to teach now, OET. Because they know every bit of it. They have realized, when they have really found that secret, they are so happy and they feel so confident. Why I give this example? Definitely, you are not an English specialized teacher, or you are not specialized in English, you are specialized in medical profession. So you need not worry, you make mistakes in English. Be blunt, make maximum mistakes, so that at least I have a clear idea by tomorrow evening what the stuff is, what I need to give you later. If you don't make mistakes, I have no service, which means you are happy. I am also happy. Okay? But Father Vincent will not be happy at the end of the day when you write the exam. when they come after the exam and say, Father. Okay.
This week we are reading part C.
Yeah, how to get the answers in C? It's almost like C or B, and there is not much difference. But only difference is B, we have 6 different paragraphs which have no connection. But in C, you have links, you know. Here also you find links. I will not show you tomorrow, I will show you. I have connected the question and the topic sentences. The gist of the controlling idea of the topic sentence. So C is comparatively easier because there is a link. As you go on reading, the previous reading will help you to understand the next answer as well. Whereas in B, first question, second question till sixth question, no connections, entirely different things. So you will require more concentration. Okay? So only thing what you require at this stage, no specific strategies need to be used. At this stage, you have to read the question and understand the options and find out the corrective sentence or portion in the paragraph and scrutinize these things and say why this is the answer, why this is not the answer. With that, when I come out with when I say this is topic sentence based question, you know that is in the topic, answer is there in the topic. Already you know. I tell you how to apply a particular strategy, but without knowing that, you have learned to find the answer. So when you know this is the strategy as well, you have double confirmation. Then you go to the strategy, immediately find the answer. But in the beginning itself, I give you all the clues, you find the answer with the clues, competence will not improve. General competence, language competence may not improve. You understand what I am saying? Otherwise, I can easily teach you. That's what I said. I can make you so happy and I can make OET so interesting. But then ultimately, when you get the next passage, right? It's a common issue. Do you understand? So I don't want to make you too happy in the beginning. We'll practice. We'll come out to the fields. Now you try the tasks given in the Soumya has put the task. And tomorrow we will work out those who have time. We will see that you work out online maximum and also you will develop your competency as well as confidence. Try to make use of all the opportunities where you get to build up the confidence. Because I tell you, more than half of the students lose their grades because of the stress and examination fear. They are not able to answer.